Well, hello there for the second time. Sorry about the glitch in the other live stream. Ooh, Stitches wants to speak up. Not starting correctly. Hi, I'm Jean, and this is Friday's Stitch Tips and Chat with Kept in Stitches. I'm so glad that we were able to come back and get on here and get over the glitch with getting the live started this morning. Have no idea why it would not start, but it was just going round and round and round. You know how we see that. But Stitches is a little riled up this morning, but I know that everyone has been asking to see her, so she is out here with me this morning. We're not going to keep her up here too long because she wants down, but we are going to show you. Look what she has on today. It says Mommy's Little Girl. Yes, are you Mommy's little girl? She definitely is. But she is ready to get down and run around and play. So we are going to let her do that, and we're going to get on with our Stitch Tips and Chat this morning. So there she goes. And hopefully she'll be a good little girl this morning. She seems to be just a tad little bit riled up. But let me go back up here and say hello to everyone. Good morning, Mona. Thank you for rejoining. And good morning, Tracy. Thank you also. Sewing with Stitch is adorable. Yes, she is too cute. Good morning, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. And everyone is saying hello, Stitches, as she gets in her bag of toys on the floor. Good morning, Beverly. Welcome also. Thank you. And Carol, good morning to you. And I believe that is everyone so far. Okay, I forgot to turn that little heart off when I went back, but that's okay. We will deal with it. But what are we doing this morning? We're going to do a little stitching. We may give a few tips. And of course, we're going to enjoy some chatting together as we do that. And I hope everyone has their beverage of choice with them. I have tea again this morning. And this morning, my tea is Bigelow Orange and Spice. And it says it is a beautifully balanced blend of zesty citrus and luxurious spices, which the spices that are in here, I'll go ahead and tell you what they are. They're rose hips, spices, hibiscus, orange peel, roasted chicory, natural orange flavors. And it is a good one to get you that little zing and get you going in the morning, which I need right now after those glitches. So excuse me for taking a drink there. But what do I have for you this morning? Thank you for those of you commenting on my hair. I have gradually been getting back to what is my normal type of hairstyle. I have always worn my hair short, very short, and it is back to very short again, and it is so comfortable. So thank you those that like it. I didn't even tell my husband that I was going back to this short when I got it cut yesterday. So it was a surprise to him as well. But thank you very much. So first of all, I do, as you can see behind me, have the Heart in Hand Day Complete Round Robin Challenge quilt behind me. And I do have, she pulled the whole bag of toys over here. She's getting rather strong. And of course my wheel is stuck on it. We'll just drag her right out of the way there. Sorry, but I'm going to pick up this because it has gotten a little larger, which makes it harder to show you in the view. But there we have the hourglass border added on to the Round Robin Quilt Challenge. And that looks orange, but that is red. We'll bring that up so you can see the colors. It's red and brown, green, and then just to make sure, since it is getting larger and it's ready for the last round, I did add the extra little narrow border around just to make sure everything is squared up and nice and ready before we add that last round on. we will set that back out of the way. So that was round number 3 that you all voted on, and it is now completed. So it is time to choose the choices for the final round number 4. And it's kind of funny. We're down to just 4 choices in here. And as you know, I am going to pull 3. And from those 3, in the comments after the live is over, you are going to go ahead and vote which one you would like to see out of those 3 for me to do the next one in. And our first choice is crumb blocks or strips. So that is one of the choices. Get these mixed up in here. Mix, mix, mix. It's hard to mix 3 little strips here. And the next one is embroidery. And you can put in a suggestion for the embroidery that you would like to see. In the end, the embroidery will be my choice, but suggestions are very much welcome if that is your vote for that. And now we need one more. Mixing them up here. And the third choice is piano key border. So those are the 3 choices. We have embroidery. Could be rather pretty in the outer border. We have crumb blocks or strips. And we have piano key border. And for those of you that aren't aware what a piano key border is, if you look on the quilt that's hanging up there, you see the wide border there. There's a narrow strip there. That scrappy one that runs all the way around, that is a piano key border. So thank you. It'll be exciting again to find out what is chosen through the vote, which I always give you 24 hours to vote. Don't give a lot of time because I have to then design it and start working on it so that we have it ready for next week. But what do you think of that hourglass border? Do you think it came out so that it blended well with the rest of the quilt? Which, remember, and where do I have that sitting? This started out just as this little finger won't go the right direction, little courthouse steps block. And all it was supposed to be was a little pillow. And I didn't want it as a little pillow, and that's how I came up with the idea of making it into a round robin quilt and adding a different round. And then why not let you, the viewers, vote on what that round is going to be? So that is what I have done. And I hope I am still live because I'm not seeing any comments at all, and it's not moving. Why is it not moving? I am sorry. My chat is not moving. There are a lot of glitches in YouTube. I'm wondering, why isn't anybody saying anything? Okay, let me see what I missed. I am so sorry. Well, thank you, Tracy. She says, I have the cutest cottage sewing studio. I love the pretty cup. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I love my Stitching Cottage. Loki does the same thing, says Danielle. There's a baby in the house. Yes, only what is she? 14, going on 14 weeks now. And Christine has joined us. Welcome, and thank you, Christine. And Nancy from Our Treasured Home is here. Let me see if there's anyone else. And Maritza from her Yarn and Crafts says, hola, and she is here. Welcome, Maritza. Sorry, it's like I'm going to have to. Nancy says this time she won't forget. I think that means to vote. Crumbs sounds scrumptious so far. You know, the right kind of crumbs would be rather good right now. Be good with my cup of tea or with whatever that you are having. Don't vote in the chat. That will not count. You have to wait until after the live is over and the voting takes place in the comments of the replay of this video. So those of you that have put what your choice is in the chat, remember to go back after the live is over and vote in by commenting in the comments section after the live is over. Thank you. So let me see. And Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises is here this morning. Welcome to you. And she is saying, hourglass board is epic. It magnifies outward. Love it. Yes, yes. It was a good choice for the larger border there. And I forgot the last border. Let me see what the width is on that. I forgot to tell you that. It is, we have so many pages here from continuing to add on. The last border is also a 6-inch border. So that is how wide that last border will be for those of you that want that information for your boat. Okay. And now we're not moving again. There we go. Whoops. Kelly says that she wanted to pop on and give me some watch time. Thank you. I just set up my live for next Friday at this time. I only do it every other week. No problem, Kelly. Thank you very much. And make sure that I didn't miss any other before that. Yes, remember, do not vote in the chat. And Kathy is also here. Good morning, Kathy. Welcome. Boy, these glitches are not nice. If the chat doesn't move, that's not very helpful at all. Okay, so we have our 3 choices. Those will be pinned in the comments section of the not in the description, but in the comments. Also in the description, I usually put it of this video after it is over, and I also make it known in the community tab. So you can find that there if you missed what those are, and I will mention them later again in the live. Good morning, Lori. It's finally, the chat's moving on its own. Oh. And Kelly says, what is everyone working on? Which that was in my original comment. She says that she's going to do her Valentine table runner today. Awesome. Yes, that's coming up. And while Danielle is still here, and welcome, Lisa, the awkward quilter. Thank you for showing me some love. Love to you too. That was a little bit strange. Sorry about that. And Mona is watching and cutting. Danielle is working. But I want to show you, I ordered a couple of the fabric baskets from Danielle and received those yesterday. And she included this cute little stretchy thing for your keys or whatever you want to put on it. And it has a beautiful star quilt pattern on it. And I wanted to let you know, when I saw this, I came up with a great idea for this immediately, Danielle. And what I am going to do with this is, for those of you that don't know, Stitches is my emotional support dog. So she goes everywhere with me. And while she is still, in training and learning, there's, a little bit of worry of her trying to, jump out of a shopping cart or whatever, or that type of thing when she's with. So I am going to take part, so it's just a short piece of an old leash, and I am going to put the swivel, clasp that opens on both ends of it and attach to this. So when I am out with her, I can have this on my wrist, have a little area for her to be able to move, but have her attached to me. So that is what I'm going to do with this. Thank you so much, Danielle, for including that in my order. It is going to come in very handy. Thank you, Lori. And it was very easy to take care of this morning. Okay, so I have showed you the round that was just completed on the round robin quilt. The next thing that I wanted to go over is Yeah, isn't that an awesome idea? I thought that was a pretty good idea myself. But whoops, I about dumped all of these over. I'm going to set these off to the side right now. But yesterday, I did finally get around to starting. Good morning, Glenda. Thank you for joining us. I did finally get around to starting the block of the month for our Facebook group, my private Facebook group, Captain Stitches and Friends, that goes along with everything that I do on YouTube. The link is always in the description box. If you would like to join that, just click on that and request to join. But I did finally get around to posting January's block for the block of the month, which is this beautiful, bountiful blessings block that is designed by Vicki McCarthy of Calico Patch Designs. I keep going the wrong direction. I'm sorry. But that is a free pattern from freepatterns.com. And you will find when you go there to download patterns, which I will be using from time to time, you will have to join their website to be able to download the free patterns. There's no membership fee, nothing like that. It's all free, but you do have to give your email address and join. But this pattern, because it is also free, I did include in the files section of the Facebook group, so you can get it there also. And I wanted to just mention a few things real quickly about that. I mean, this looks like, okay, that's going to take a lot of fabrics, but it really only takes small amounts of fabrics. And Tracy says that she loves those points. They look like crowns. Yes, they do. I think that is really, really cute. And keep in mind, you do not have to use the colors that are on this. That's just a suggestion. But you might want to, when you are choosing your fabrics, think on, it's going to be a sampler type quilt. So it can be scrappy, or you can use a color theme or a theme of fabrics or one line of fabrics if you choose. But what I did is I looked at the first block and I thought, okay, do I want those colors? Do I want something else? Or do I want part of that and something else? And I also want to quickly mention too before I go, this does call for wool for the applique. You do not have to use wool for the applique in that. You can use regular fabric. I do happen to have wool, so I have my little red square of wool and I have my green square of wool already for that. And it only takes a 3x5 and a 4x5 piece of wool for that. So not very much wool at all if you are somebody that does have that in your stash. And that is where I got mine from. And then I looked at this and I decided, okay, I do love reds, as everyone knows. I do like blacks along with it. And I'm throwing in a little bit of pink and the beige in the darker tones also. So all I did was I went over to my large, huge, fat quarter drawer. I opened it up and I just started pulling some reds. These are some of the pinks that I pulled. I have a lot of red and white fabrics that I decided could go along with that along the line somewhere. And then we have some really light beige tones. And then we have some that go from a little medium to darker. And that is just what I pulled for a start to have, because what it calls for in this is fat eighths and a piece that is 4 by 8 inches. So that gives you an idea. On all the blocks, you can probably go to your scraps and be able to pull fabrics for these. So, and again, unless nobody's saying anything to chat, it's not moving. Okay, and there's nothing there. Now, the black plaid that was in the middle of this, I do not have a black plaid. So I chose this one instead. It was the closest that I had that would come to that. It doesn't mean that I won't find something else along the way, but that is what I have chosen so far. And I will set those aside in a project container, and that is what I will be pulling from throughout the year. And I can take away fabrics as I choose throughout the year, but that is what I will be pulling from for the year, for the block of the month. And that is a good way to get started on one if you don't have any idea where to begin. So there's your tip. Just go and start pulling what you have from your stash already and work with it, and then you can add fabrics along the way. Yes, thank you. Thumbs up, everyone. Okay, everybody is mesmerized and watching instead of chatting, I guess, is what's going on. But just a little scary with the glitches that we've had there. It's like, I don't want to continue talking and find out I've been going on and nobody's here and you can't see me with the start that we had this morning. Okay, so I have covered the block of the month. The other thing that I wanted to mention right away before I forget also is those of you that are in the Facebook group, there was a poll taken and you did vote on what you would like out of the choices that I gave for the time for our Zoom Stitch Day. And our very first Zoom Stitch Day is this Saturday. It's the 27th, and it is from 1 until 5 p.m., 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is actually tomorrow. So I hope to see a lot of you there. The link for that Zoom has already been posted in the Facebook page, and I will be pinning that to the featured section so you can find it more easily and probably post it again. So everyone has the link and can pop on that Zoom Stitch Day at any time during that time that they like. Come and go as you please. Just bring some stitching, or if you don't have something you want to work on, you're still welcome to come and just sit and chat and have a great time with those that decide to attend. So looking forward to meeting a lot of you. I'm sorry, I have a little frog in my throat, but looking forward to meeting a lot of you there. And no, it is not recorded. It is not live. It is just a private Zoom for those of you that are in my Facebook group. So you can be in whatever comfy clothes you want. You can be in your pajamas, whatever you want to be in, and have whatever stitching you want to. And Glenda says she is sorry she can't be able to join tomorrow. That's all right, Glenda. Hopefully you'll be able to join the next time or one in the future. And Christine says, I have a meeting Saturday and may miss the Zoom this time. Oh, too bad, Christine. I know you were looking forward to it. But I think I know where you're going, and you're going to have a great time there also. So no problems there. And I have a little something moving around at my feet. So the next thing that I have for today is, January is coming to an end. And that means that those of you that have joined in and have been working on our quarterly project, the quarterly project, which is for the first quarter, which is January, February, and March, we have been working on the Jellied Charm quilt, which we will try and grab that again back here. It's a long reach, which is this quilt. And for January, you were to have, of course, your fabrics. You were to have them cut, and you were to have all 36 of the blocks made. So most of you, if you are joining in on that and working on that, you should be close to wrapping up and having all your blocks made. And hubby just came in the door to grab stitches, I do believe. So she will be leaving the cottage. And you're going to hear some squealing. She gets rather excited when she sees one of us. So, but to go on, we are working on the completion of the assignment for the first quarter for that. And I am going to go ahead, and while we chat, I am going to stitch on part of that. I have 12 blocks left to complete out of the 36 that it takes for this quilt. And Glenda says, but the next one I will be there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Danielle is excited that, yeah, I hope several of you will be able to be there tomorrow and have some fun just stitching along together. So I am going to have to, however, though, move all these fabrics that I placed on top my ironing surface that are for the block of the month. That won't work too good to have those in the way. And move those out of my way. And now I can get back to the fun of stitching and just chatting and having a good time. And put my iron back down so it turns back on. So Danielle says she will definitely be there. And Tracy says fur babies bring such richness to our lives. Yes, they do. They most definitely do. And Stitches is becoming an awesome emotional support dog. And I'm thinking what may have been the glitch this morning is I did get a new webcam, and I did have it plugged in and attached to my laptop that I'm going live on. And I think it probably did not recognize the software for that, and that's why it wouldn't start. So I will have to, work with that and get the glitch out of whatever happened there. And we are going to rethread this because it came out of that upper loop for some reason. Why is it that always happens when you're live and when you're, I've been stitching all morning and that hasn't happened. The minute you go live, something always goes wrong with your sewing machine. Say just issues upon issues upon issues. And we will make sure that the bobbin is correct also again before we try and restart. There we go. Didn't bring it up the first time. Get that out of the way. Let's try that again. Yeah, so you can see how to fix it, LOL. Of course, that's a great way to learn. Have something go wrong so you can see what you need to do when that happens. Thank you, Nancy. And Tracy says, it wouldn't be life if something doesn't go wrong at least once. So true. And then Kathy just said the same thing. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you, thank you. It kind of throws you in a different state of mind when you're all ready and you push that button to go live and you're all set to go and something happens and you can't figure out what it is. And it's, doesn't ever seem to be the same thing. So when it wouldn't, I have never, ever done a live and it wouldn't start the live. And so that was very strange. And then there wasn't any place to end it either because it was just going round and round and round and round and round. But we got it taken care of, and that's the main thing, and we are back on here. And I really thank you all for coming back after me having to close it and come back, which I know, yeah, I'm I'm not sure whether it was the webcam or a glitch, because I know that Sewing Sensations with Shady Susan also had a problem last night. So who knows? But I sewed both short sides on that, and now I'm sewing the longer ones on, and I always press those towards the fabric that I am adding on. Danielle says that live button sends a signal to all other technology to go on the fritz. I think so. Sometimes I believe that is true, Danielle. It says, ha ha ha, go live. Let's see what we can do to mess them up and see what they will do about it. It's a test. Testing, testing, testing. Welcome. So, Terry, good morning. Busy morning for me. I love the haircut. Thank you. I will stay as long as I can. How's Stitches doing? You missed her. She was out here. And she was a little rambunctious this morning. But she did say hello to everyone. And she just left the cottage a little bit ago. So you missed her, Terry. I'm sorry. Yes. You can go back and watch the replay, and I will go over before we are over with what the choices are for the final round number 4 of the round robin quilt challenge, which you can see that behind me still on there. It was the hourglass block that was used for that border number 3. Which I have to say was a lot better to work with than what the churn dash blocks in number 3 were to deal with, and having to be different sizes to make it out. Yeah, she was a little wiggle. She was a little wiggle worm this morning. Very much so. She didn't want up here at the moment. She wanted at her toys that were on the floor behind us. The one thing that is fun about this jellied charm quilt, using the jelly roll and the charm squares out of the same line, is it's kind of fun seeing how different they all come out and how they end up looking in the end. And this is also a great quilt that you would be able to use if you have a lot of 2.5-inch strips in your stash left over, which I do. And if you have 5-inch strips that you can cut into 5-inch squares, this is a great quilt to also do using your stash and your scraps. Oh, I know, Terry. We have had schnauzers before. We had 2 schnauzers before we had the 3 Yorkies. So we know very well how schnauzers are, and yes, that they are very, very smart. They figure things out very quickly. Some good, some not so good, because they can get into mischief. But she will be trained also, so hopefully that will help with most of that. And the thing about an intelligent dog is you do have to keep them just like a child in school. You need to make sure you are doing something to keep them from not getting bored. And because that will cause them to have a few problems, because they are a very intelligent dog and need to use their intelligence. If that made any sense, the way I described that. Yes, keep them busy. They can be escape artists. Now, she has not, and I don't think we will have that problem, because there is nowhere for her to escape to. We have a 6-foot tall privacy fence all the way around our backyard. So, and there are, because we've had little dogs before, I mean, the Yorkies previously, it is totally dog proof, to where there are no small openings anywhere that they can find to scour and get out. So we have that under control already, Terry. Oops. So is there anyone in the chat that is actually doing the Jellied charm quilt? I know a couple of you that are doing it. No, they did not even attempt to dig under the fence, because we kind of have that situation taken care of also. So the neighbors have a couple little dogs, and they have never attempted to try and dig under the fence either. And Terry says she loves the churn dashes on the quilt behind you. That is the, and I'll pull that so you can see that a little closer. It's just that it's really big, so I can't hold it up without getting up and show the hole. But that was the round that was voted on last week, which was hourglass. And instead of having them go the same direction all the way, I did alternate them so that the hourglass blocks, oops, unwrap that, do change every other one. And then there is the plain block with the sashing between them to give it some interest. I didn't want, because the other one was the churn dashes, the churn dashes all pieced and all going around. I didn't want hourglass blocks going all around those also, and that's why I put the blocks in between, so it would give it more depth and a place for your eyes to rest. Otherwise, it could have been very busy. Good morning, Judy Hebert from Georgia. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning. I am trying to finish up on, there is Susan. Oh, you got a big haircut this time. It is amazing. I have gotten my haircut the last 3 times that I've gone. So I went, in stages instead of wham, bam, all at once. And each time there was a huge amount of hair on the floor around the chair. And you would think there wouldn't have been as much this time, but wow, there really was a whole lot of hair again. But that won't happen next time. There's not much, and I'm not going any shorter. So, But yeah, you're you're letting yours grow, Susan, and I got rid of my length. I used to always wear my hair this short, so I'm back to being my normal frisky, sassy little self. And I do love the feel of it. I'm not one that likes hair on their neck, but good morning, June. It's great to see you too. You should have been here when I started, Susan, because my live wouldn't even start. I have no idea what it was, but I know you had problems last night. So I don't know if it's something YouTube or what, but I couldn't even, there wasn't even any way to end it. But I figured out how to get out of it, and I had to also start and come back again this morning. Good morning, Gladys, the Confident Quilter. It's great to see you here this morning, too. Those of you that are popping on late, we did go over quite a bit already in the first half of this live, so you may want to watch the replay and catch some of that information, because I went over the first block of the month for the Facebook group, which I forgot to mention. In the Facebook group itself, I will be coming on and going into more detail and helping with showing the stitching and stitching along on those blocks with you as each month and as the year progresses. We may have some newer quilters, and that is a way to help everyone through that. And again, the link for the Facebook group is always in the description box. It will be added after this video is over. It looked like that was going to mess up again, but we're okay. And I did, but I will go over again before we stop. I will go over what the three choices are for the fourth and final round for you to vote on in the comment section after the live is over for the round robin quilt challenge. Which again is the quilt that is right there on the long arm that I showed a bit ago again. And I am working on the last 12 blocks that I have out of the 36 to go on the Jellied charm, because that is what we are supposed to have done for our quarterly quilt project for the month of January. And then next week, I will be giving what the next step is for the month of February. And your quilt will be all done by the end of March. Yeah, I figured after the second time you probably weren't coming back on, Shady Susan. I should just call you Susan. I don't know why I call you Shady Susan. That's what you go by, but I always say Shady Susan. Oh, get out of the way, notification. And she says, I am thinking it had something to do with the new camera. You know, and that's funny that you say that, because afterwards I said that I am thinking it may have, because I just got a new webcam, and I'm thinking it didn't recognize the software or something for it for some reason, and that's why it wouldn't start. So I'm going to have to investigate and see if that was the problem. And when I say investigate, that's a little funny, because how does somebody that knows nothing about tech investigate a tech problem? That should be interesting all in itself. Okay, thank you, Susan. This time I said Susan instead of it. She says that is what most people call her, so I am fine calling her Shady Susan. And some people call me Captain Stitches instead of Kept in Stitches. Oh. And I've had a couple people think that I was a comedy channel. Which I guess we throw a little humor in there from time to time too, so but it's interesting. Oh. And I can't see my numbers, of course, but I will just very, very quickly mention that I am getting close to the 1,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to reach that by my 1-year anniversary, which is February 14th. Don't know if that will happen or not, and it's okay if it doesn't. It's no problem, but I just thought that would be a nice little anniversary present if that did happen. And I will have some type, whether it happens then or whenever it does, I will have some type of celebration that I will plan when I do hit the 1,000. Thank you, Tracy. She said, congratulations. Yes, we're getting close to where I'm going to have all these blocks in. I tell you, I have so many personal projects that don't have anything to do with my YouTube going on. And then I have, as most of you that follow me are aware, I have, certain ones that are for my Monday Stitch Talk live, and I have ones that are for my Friday Stitch Tips and Chat live. So I always have to schedule those in and make sure that I am making the progress that I am supposed to be on that. So everything is ready when I go live. And then I have my tip demo Wednesday, which I apologize. It was on Thursday, yesterday, this week instead. Just several things happened this week, and there was just not a way to do that on Wednesday, which that is recorded. No certain time that it drops, but I know there are those of you that know that I do that. Okay, June is saying hello to people. I was making sure I didn't miss somebody that just popped on. And wonder where it is when it doesn't show up. So I always have to come up with a tip or a demo every Wednesday. And then I also do my week in review on Sundays. So a busy and active Kept in Stitches YouTube channel schedule. And then everything that I am trying to work on that are my own personal projects. So who wants to take a guess on what time I am in the cottage in the morning, the Stitching Cottage, and what time I leave at night? Let's see who gets the closest. That'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are. on what hours I am in the Stitching Cottage. Of course, I do have to run in and take breaks and take care of, the hubby and stuff during that time, but just be interesting to see what you come up with. June says 9 to 8 p.m. One of those might be close. We won't say which one, so others can get theirs. Shady Susan says 7 a.m. to 7. That's funny. Oh, Nancy. Oh, I should have said Nancy can't vote. Oh, Nancy of our treasured home and I chat quite a bit, so she knows a little bit more about me than some of you may be aware, but she was pretty close. Let's just put it that way. Oh. And Katie, I don't think I said hi to you, is here. Not sure exactly when you popped on, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Gwendolyn is here also. Welcome, Gwendolyn. And she is guessing from 5 to 7. Okay. Is that 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., Gwendolyn? Be sure, those of you that have popped on late, that you go back and watch the first part of the live, because there was a lot of information given in the very beginning. And I won't be going over all of that, but some of it I will before we end this. 5 a.m. to 7, okay. We don't have anybody that has quite gotten it yet. We've got one that's close, but and Shady Susan says, I am putting together my bamboo die holders I bought, and they will work great for my AccuQuilt dies. Yes, I saw that. That was a great idea. Great tip, Susan. And I can see people using that for their rulers as well. Mine I keep on pegboard because I don't have enough surface area. The surface area is already filled with other stuff. So what I can not put on the surfaces is what I try to do in my Stitching Cottage, so that I have those cleared for my workspaces. And they were very, very reasonably priced too, Susan. I do not have an AccuQuilt, so I don't have any dies I need to store. I do have a couple die cutters that I've used for scrapbooking that you can also cut fabric with, but I don't really don't really use them much at all anymore. So I have those 6 blocks completed, and I only have 6 left to go. And I'm not going to sew those while we are on here. But here's a great little tip. Also, is this bowl. That is what I have all my little snack in there. But that is what I have all my clips in, to just pull and drop back in there as I need them. And because this doesn't store this rotary cutter does not store the same way flat like the rest of mine in the area that I keep them. And I use it mostly when I'm at this table, not when I'm at the cutting station, which is right there. I keep that in this bowl also. And my husband brought these out this morning, so that's why they were just dropped in there. But that's a cute little tip for a way to keep your clips on your sewing area and out of the way. And you were wrong last night. You think they were $12.99. That's still a good price, Susan. And Katie says, making a tote out of woven fabric, doing double seams to minimize fraying. Yes, awesome. Good tip on that. Also, Katie, I haven't made a tote or a purse in a while. I used to make them all the time. And I haven't made one in a while. I think I have one over there as one of my whips that were drawn, because I draw the numbers from my whip inventory each month for what I am supposed to work on that month. It doesn't mean I have to finish it, but I have to work on it that month. And I believe one of those is a tote that is, I keep pointing back over there. But and that is one thing it reminds me when I pointed that direction, which my long arm is there. And you will notice, if I take this down, you've been looking at the same quilt for how long? How long have we been looking at that same quilt on the long arm? Because I have not finished long arming it yet. It's like, so I decided this morning, I am going to say this live for all of you to hear and keep me accountable. I am going to complete that quilt on the long arm within the next 2 weeks. So hold me to that, because it needs to come off of the long arm so I can get other ones done. And the reason that it's on there is because I use the area behind there and the shelf that is for the pantographs a lot of times for extra storage. And I clean it off, and the minute I clean it off, something else gets put back there again. So that is a real problem, and that is why the quilt's not finished yet. It's because I haven't gotten everything removed from there to get back at it. But Gwendolyn says that she uses magazine holders that sit on a shelf for most of her rulers, then hang the long ones. Awesome. Great tip also. And Danielle says, okie dokie, I'm back. Oh, awesome. But yeah, I only have the last 6 here left to go, and I will be done with all 36 of the blocks for my Jellied charm, which is the January's assignment for working on that quarterly quilt project. And I will go over again. Do not vote in the chat. The voting for the fourth and final round of the round robin challenge is you have to vote in the comment section of this live after it has ended. And you have 24 hours to do that. Then I tally the vote so I can start working on the next round. And our 3 choices. Thank you, Kathy. You have a great day too. Take care. Thank you for joining. The one choice is embroidery, and you can put a suggestion for what type of embroidery you would like to see as well, and I will make the final decision on what type of embroidery if you vote for that, but that is one of the choices. And the other choice is crumb blocks or strips. And then the other choice is piano key border. And the width of that final round is a 6-inch width. So you have that to keep in mind also when you are voting on that. So it will be exciting to see which one is the choice for that final round. I know which one I'd like to do, but I'm not going to say that. It will be what you all vote on. And I did, as I said, I mentioned the first block has been downloaded into the files section in the Facebook group for our block of the month. January's block is now there and ready for you to start working on. And I will be popping in from time to time in the Facebook group to help and give demonstrations on piecing that block for all of you to share in. I think that has covered everything that I had for you this morning. Oh, a reminder, don't forget, those of you that are in the Facebook group, the first Zoom Stitch Day is Saturday, tomorrow, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the link has been posted. It's been there for a few days now in the Facebook group, and I will pin that so it's easier to find. It will be in the featured section for you to find, and I will probably post that again. If you did not get that, can't find it, feel free to message me on Facebook Messenger, and I will make sure that you get that link. Just make sure that you do not share that link out to anyone. And there are ways of finding out if you do, so please do not do that for security reasons. We do not want that done. What challenge are we talking about, Gwendolyn? Oh, has anyone, I'm sorry, I missed that. Has anyone heard of the Moda Block Challenge? Yes, they have had that. I forget what number they are on that. They do that. They have been doing that every year, as Gwendolyn said, for many, many years. And Gladys is reminding us that her live is at 4 p.m. today, Central Standard Time. That's 1 hour behind myself. So that would be 5 Eastern Standard Time for those of us that are in that. And Shady Susan says they are on block 4 right now. I was thinking that they just posted block number 5, but I may be mistaken. I thought I just saw that today, but could be wrong. I'm not doing it because I have way too much to do already. And Susan says she is fairly new to quilting, so I never heard of it. Yeah, there's a lot that I'm sure haven't heard of it, but yeah, they've been doing it for a long time. And it is a fun one, a very fun one to follow along with, even if you don't do it, just to see all the blocks and interesting. And you can, save them and download them if you ever decide that you want to do it at some other time. You don't have to do it right when it's going on. And they do have the site where you can go and you can get the previous year's ones as well. So they are always there. But all right, it is a little past noon. I've been on for, because of the glitch and it not starting when it did, I've been on probably for about an hour right now. We have gone over everything that I had for you today. I want to again thank every one of you for coming and joining me this morning. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I will do the best to answer any questions that you have. And I really do appreciate those of you that leave comments to my videos and my lives, and you ask questions there, and you also ask me if there is certain things that I can show or demonstrate or help with in upcoming videos. And if there is a way, I always do try to accommodate those as well. And I love your ideas and suggestions when you do ask if there is something that I can show you or help you with. So keep those comments coming in, much appreciated. And I know there's a couple that I already had on my schedule to do, so that is awesome as well. So take care, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. I will see you some of you hopefully tomorrow. I will be doing my week in review on Sunday, and then I will be live again on Monday. So in the meantime, everyone, remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend.